In this video, I want to talk to you about the importance of margin. Now, the big question is it all worthwhile? Remember, we want to trade on Amazon because we want to make money. And the information that you need to have at the forefront of your mind is how much are you making per unit sold? For each item that you sell, what is your profit? And you want to know this because, frankly, you want to know that whatever you're selling is going to be worth selling. It's going to be profitable enough to make it all worthwhile. Now, basically what I'm asking you to look at here is your margin, and effectively your margin equals your profit. Let me explain. First of all, you obviously have your selling price, and if we take that as our starting point, and then you need to deduct all your costs. So they're all the costs of buying the item, so that's the first and foremost the cost of the item from your supplier, any inbound shipping costs, any shipping costs that occur, any costs that occur because of your work with Amazon, the outbound shipping costs, and whatever's left is then going to be your margin and the profit to you. So it's basically selling price minus all your costs equals your profit. Now, if we look at the FBA system, it's relatively straightforward because you have your initial selling price. Amazon will charge you a fee for the FBA service, and that varies between 8 and 25%. And there may be other little fees included as well, such as a selling fee, and you may opt for their labeling service. But you also need to be aware of the unit cost for each item that you sell from your supplier. Now, if you put in a small order, your unit cost might be X. If you put in a very large order, it might be half X. So again, as each shipment and each order you put in with your supplier may change your equation. So you need to keep an eye on this. And don't forget, you may require additional packaging and labeling before it gets to Amazon. You have to take that cost into consideration. So there's quite a lot of variables to bear this in mind. Also, if you're shipping it from China or somewhere like that, then you're going to have inbound shipping costs. You might have to get a freight forwarder at the point of entry into the US. There may well be duties to pay and taxes to pay, which the freight forwarder will handle, but then they're obviously on charge to you. And then when you come to ship your item out, depending on how heavy and how big the item is, then obviously there's going to be a cost for that. So you can see there's quite a lot of variables. But let's just try and keep it in the round. Why is it important? Well, fundamentally, you need to know how much you're going to earn per item. You need to understand the potential for scale economies. So if you put in a much larger order from your supplier, will you be able to make much more profit? You also need to understand how much latitude you've got within Amazon to offer discounts. And one of the keys to this is actually knowing what your break-even point is, the point below which you cannot go with your price, because then you'll start to lose money. So these are all things you need to have in the back of your mind. Now, I've put up this picture from the Amazon revenue calculator because on the left-hand side, you've got quite a good checklist of your potential costs, which you may or may not have thought through. So definitely use that to go through all the costs you're going to incur getting this item from the initial order at the supplier to being shipped out by Amazon to your ultimate buyer. And then you'll be able to calculate from your selling price all your costs, and you'll know exactly what your price, what your margin and your profit is. So that is why margin is important. You are running a business. It is all about having positive cash flow, i.e. getting more cash out of the business than you're putting into it. And the margin is at the heart of that.